Well, now that we have most of our desserts made for Christmas, now we're going to think about some of the other appetizers and salads that we're going to make. So today I'm going to make a Caesar dressing, and it's a pretty straightforward recipe, and we just use it with like a spring lettuce or romaine, and it's very easy. So here we go. So we're going to have 1/3 cup Greek yogurt. And I like the Greek because it's a little bit thicker than regular. It's just plain Greek yogurt. In the background is Gary doing a lot of dishes that I had started getting dirty this morning about 3:30 when I decided, oh, I better get up and get some more of my baking done. We still have a few trays yet to make yet for some customers. So Gary's kind enough to help me get the dishes done before we start on the rest of our baking. So anyway, so we're going to have 1/3 cup of plain Greek yogurt, 1/2 tablespoon of Parmesan, and we have, it's shredded Parmesan, but what we often do is also put it in our food processor so that it's ground, but it's not like what comes out of a can that's really finely ground. So we can do it either way. 2 cloves of garlic, and this is actually the chopped garlic that we buy in a jar. If you are busy and you don't have time, or you don't happen to have cloves on hand, then just using garlic from a jar is fine. Otherwise, it would be 2 cloves of garlic chopped. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. 1/2 teaspoon of spicy brown mustard, and whatever is your favorite will work for you. We actually have a brown mustard that our son-in-law's parents, who are Polish, gave us to use with Polish sausage, and so we often use that with this recipe as well. Let's see, we have 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of olive oil. And those are all of the ingredients. So we're just going to mix those together. And we've been using this recipe a lot. In fact, Megan gave us the recipe, and we've been using it for many of our catering events that we've had recently. And right now it's fairly thin, as you can see, but when it sits in the refrigerator, it will solidify more. And then when you take it out to use on your salad, you can add a little bit of water if you think it's too thick, but otherwise that's a pretty good consistency. So that is our Caesar dressing, and now we're just going to assemble our salad. And typically with the Caesar dressing, they'll have anchovy paste in it, and I think this tastes just fine without it. And this is our pre-made dressing out of the refrigerator, and it could be maybe a little bit thinner, but I think it's still a pretty good consistency. So just put on whatever amount that you like. You don't have to have too much, because it is going to goes quite a ways as you're adding this to your salad. And then we just like to stir it in to the lettuce. And we've been doing some events where we've had 13 to 15 people, so it's nice to have your salad all set to go. And we could actually put a little bit more lettuce in there. And now with our Caesar dressing, or our Caesar salad, we're just going to have a few large bread croutons, whatever you like. Some people, aren't too crazy about croutons, so you can have a few or a lot, depending on your guests, and then just top it with some more Parmesan cheese. So along with our Caesar salad for Christmas lunch, we will have some chicken It's a cheddar chicken soup, cheddar chicken chili soup that Megan gave us the recipe. And I think we're going to do a butternut squash soup, perhaps. So just, some artisan bread and butter and your Caesar salad, and you're good to go. So now we're going to think about taking some Christmas pictures before the time gets here. I, of course, don't have a Christmas letter out yet, and we're still working on a little bit more Christmas baking for some of our customers. And so right now we're going to go think about a picture. So this year we're going to have a little bit of an untraditional Christmas. This is our son Michael, and I'm hoping to get him into my cooking show one of these days, maybe. So he's going to be home with us for Christmas. Megan and Paul just bought their first house in Madison, and we are actually helping them over the weekend move their, all their things from their apartment to their house. And they'll be celebrating in Chicago with Paul's parents and his family. And then, of course, Matthew and Alana are in Thailand celebrating Christmas this year. So it's going to be the three of us. And we're going to invite some friends over for Christmas Eve and some other friends over for Christmas Day. So we're still going to have a house full, because that's what we're used to having, is a house full. And we'll make, like I said, lots of appetizers and things. So Christmas won't be the same, but it will be a good Christmas for all of us. And we just wish everybody peace and happiness. And hope that everybody has a great Christmas and safe travels. So from a slice of heaven until next year, Merry Christmas and happy cooking. Tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
Two tablespoons of Worcestershire. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce.
Yay!
I still don't like that word.